Greetings and salutations, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory, your friendly neighborhood armchair philosopher. Now, in the year 1998, the rapper Jay-Z came out with the song Hard Knock Life. Now, that song established Jay-Z as a force to be reckoned with in the hip-hop industry and became an anthem for those who were downtrodden in the hoods and the ghettos of the USA. Now, around this time, I had just graduated high school. And I was taking classes at St. Louis Community College at Forest Park. And that song was everywhere. You'd go out in the streets, people are playing the music. You go out in you turn on the TV, the music is playing. It's a hard knock life. And they sampled the musical Annie. And of course, Jay-Z was rapping about living a hard knock life. And although Jay-Z's song, it spoke to many people. People identified with it. People felt what Jay-Z was coming from. I couldn't identify with it. I have never lived in the inner city or a housing project or the so-called ghetto. I was a church attending, Bible reading, Cub Scout, and spelling bee champion in my elementary school. Both my mother and my father were present in my life. They were not perfect angels. My father nor my mother were perfect people. But my parents were there. They were a presence in my life. Then I don't say these things to brag. I don't say these things to boast. I don't even say these things to show some type of superiority. It's just that when I heard the Jay-Z song, I couldn't identify with that. He was talking about an aspect of life that I could not identify with. Which brings me to the crux of my video. Why do we as black people... And I am looking at my notes, so this is just to help me organize my thoughts. Why do we as black people equate struggle, ignorance, and dysfunction as the gold standard of blackness? Now, YouTuber Sergeant Willie P, aka Black Diaspora, aka Infinite Wisdom, once did a video titled Polished Turd Culture. In it, he said that since black people had no economic infrastructure or systems in place to safeguard, protect, and uplift the race, we collectively have made the struggle, the poverty, and the dysfunction the standard. He compared it to polishing a turd. At the end of the day, it's polished, it's shiny, it gleams, it glistens, but it's still a turd. That's one thing he points out very diligently. And all the hallmarks of black culture are the result of a people collectively in the state of lack, responding in kind. And in the position they're in, they respond. So this is the response to it. He asserts that lack ends up becoming the standard due to this. Now, he was a little harsh, and again, I feel he's somewhat classist and elitist, but he makes a very valid point. Again, I think we have sort of adopted a polished turd culture in a sense where all the negativity is the golden standard of blackness. Things such as struggle and lack are the golden magical standard of blackness. Now, I was recently criticized by someone. I made a comment to someone who didn't have their biological parents in their life. Now, the comment was very innocent in my eyes, but to them, it looked as though I was speaking from a place I had no business speaking from. I was the one who had both my parents in my life, and this person didn't, so they felt as though I was speaking about something I could not comment on because I had not experienced it. And I began to think, why does it seem black people have to go through hell and high water in order to have some sense of authenticity? Where I feel like, can I speak as the observer and say, you know what? Based on what I've been taught and based on what I see, this is the conclusion I come up with. But no, instead we're taught based on what I see, based on what I know, you can only speak from personal experience. When I realized, well, no, you can speak from experience and you'll have an inside track, but you can also speak from observation. You can also speak from other people telling you about their lives and you forming your opinion. I'm not saying I'm not going to say my knowledge is better than one who's been through it, but I am going to say that it doesn't make it any less valid. That's what I'm trying to say. Do I have to live the struggle in order to not know what any type of struggle is. So just because I didn't live the hard knock life doesn't mean that I don't at least know what it is to struggle. Maybe on a small scale, maybe on a large scale. Because the problem is, we as black people, and I said this in another video, we get caught up in the oppression Olympics. You know what I mean? We're like, I'm oppressed, but I'm more oppressed than you. I've struggled harder than you. I go through more than you. So I have the right to complain and you don't. And that's, we all can complain. We all got something that wasn't ideal in our lives. We all have the right to complain about something. Now, do I think all complaints are created equal? No. But I do think there should be some validity in a person's experience as well as their observations, which are a part of your experiences. Tell me what you guys think. Peace.